Okay, guys, so 5.6 honors or 4.6 math 7. So today we're going to be adding expressions and how can properties of operations be used to add linear expressions. Pretty much what we're looking at here is just trying to figure out like terms and add them, okay? So what I want to do is I want to start by explaining, first of all, coefficient and constant, okay? So if I'm adding these guys, this here, there aren't any like terms, okay, in this expression. I'm going to separate the terms, okay? So I've got 5x, a positive 14, a positive 4y, and a positive z. Coefficient means that a number is a coefficient of a variable. I'm going to do it by an example. So the coefficient in this term is 5. 5 is a coefficient of x, okay? If I have this next one, 14, that is not have a variable, so there is no coefficient there, okay? And because it is just a number, okay, now think about this, it is a constant. In other words, 14 is always going to be worth 14. And so this is our one constant right here, 14, out of these four terms, okay? That is our one constant. However, with 5x, since x could vary, x could be 1, then this term is 5. X could be 2, then this term is 10. And that's what makes it a coefficient. It's actually dependent, this term's value is dependent upon x's value, okay? So this next one, 4y, 4 is a coefficient of y. And this last one, z, you don't see it there, but this actually has a coefficient. It is 1z, so 1 is a coefficient of z. Okay, guys? So that's important that you guys know what coefficients and constants are because there's going to be some questions on them in the XLs. Okay? Okay, so let's go over to the next one. Now, this example is going to take me a little bit of time. This is example 3. This is the one of them that they didn't solve for you guys, okay? And they want you to add these together. Now, the first thing you have to understand is when we're adding it, we need to really get rid of the parentheses, okay? Because there's a plus sign in between, nothing changes here. You're going to see that, though, in the next lesson, how it is going to change. So, in other words, I'm going to get rid of the parentheses. 1/2 x minus 3 minus 2y plus 1/4 x minus 2y plus 5. Now what we want to do is we want to separate these terms so we can see which ones are like terms and so that we keep track of which is positive and which is negative. So in other words, this is a positive 1/2 x. Then after that, I have a negative 3, a negative 2y, a positive 1/4 x, a negative 2y, and a positive 5. Now, the only way we can add or subtract terms, okay, is if they have the exact same variable or no variable at all. So in other words, when I'm looking through this first one, and this way I do it by underlining them, 1/2 x can actually be combined with 1/4 x, okay? Also, the negative 2y can be combined with this negative 2y, okay? And we can actually do the negative 3 and the positive 5, okay? So we want to look at these in different ways. So first of all, because these are fractions and we're adding them, we have to have a common denominator. So this becomes 2/4 x plus 1/4 x. The 1/2 becomes 1/4 because we multiply it by 2/2. So that this becomes a 4, right? 2/4. Okay, guys? So you have to remember that. That's something you should already know. Okay? So I'm putting it there. Okay? That's my first one. So I'm going to add those two together. I'm going to put this like this. Those two are combining. Plus, Now I'm going to do these, so negative 2y's. It'd be a negative 2y minus 2y. Okay? And then finally, I'm going to put a plus. Always put a plus in between. Negative 3 plus 5. Now I'm going to kind of go through these. So in other words, we look at this and we go, is this a positive or negative? This is a positive. And this would be 3/4 x. Okay, because 2 plus 1, since we have a common denominator, 2 plus 1 is 3/4, and then we just bring the x down. Okay, if I look at this from a point of view of a number line, I actually have a number line like this. There's 0, there's negative 2. This is my starting point. I subtract 2 more, subtract 2, and I end up at negative 4. Okay, so in other words, negative 2 minus 2. Once we get them together with the same variable, we can ignore the variable and go through and just add together or combine the numbers. So in other words, this becomes a negative, okay, because positive and negative is negative, negative 4y. Okay, and we just happen to be setting these in the right order because the x comes first, then the y, and then we do the number. Now, this is the same way with the number line. In other words, we have 0, right? We start at negative 3, and then we add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we end up at a positive 2. So that ends up being my answer. So you're going to have to take the time to go through and combine each one of these terms, figure out which ones are like terms, and then combine them. If you haven't gotten this down by now, then you're going to have a harder time, okay? But that's what I'm here for, so you can ask questions during class, and I'll help you out. Okay, guys? Okay, this last question is actually XL number 6. Now, XL number 6 can be pretty confusing, okay? So XL number 6 is talking about, it's all based on this down here, okay? It's based on the bottom of the triangle being the basis of it, okay? So in other words, this is worth x. Then they say that one of the sides, and obviously this is not to scale, one of the sides is 3 times the amount of x plus 3. Okay, so 3x plus 3. And then the other side is supposed to be x plus 11. In other words, 11 more than x, okay? And what they want to know is, what is the perimeter? So this is another one where we're going to go through and add it. So in other words, I would go like this, 3x plus 3, right? 3x plus 3 plus x plus 11. So here's this right here. That's one side. Here's the bottom. And here is the other side. You guys see that? So what we're doing is we're taking all of these sides and we're adding them together. So I'm going to rewrite it again. So because I want to be able to separate the terms. Plus 3 plus x plus 11. I'm going to separate these terms. 3x, then a positive 3, a positive x, and a positive 11. Now we have to determine like terms. Remember, you have to have a variable exactly the same. So in other words, the 3x can be combined with the 2x's, and then I would combine the 3 and the 11. So if I have 3x's here, 3x's, right, plus another 2x's, that would be 5x's, and then 11 plus 3 plus 14. And that's it, guys. Okay, so that gives you XL number 6, an outline for that one. Okay? Okay, so just like before, any questions, make sure you ask, and we'll see you soon.